first question that came in from the first commissioner that began the interview was, what was my views on abortion.
That's probably the last kind of question you'd expect in a typical job interview, especially one for a local government job. KXAN was the first to report on the complaints against Williamson County in 2013, but new video evidence out today makes it clear county leaders asked about God and political views during the interview with a candidate for county constable.
And now that candidate, Robert Lloyd, says the questions violated his constitutional rights, and his lawsuit could have a big impact on anyone applying for a public service job. KXAN investigator Robert Maxwell is here.
And Robert, Shannon, you will want to watch this. In August, a videotaped deposition for the lawsuit. Precinct 1 Commissioner Lisa Berkman freely admitted she asked interview questions about religion and politics to 4 separate job candidates for constable. Now, typically, voters elect someone for that law enforcement job, but since it was an interim appointment last March, commissioners made the final call.
That's what I said before, and I'll say it again. I asked a question on their view on gay marriage to all the applicants for Precinct 3 Constable and their view on abortion, except Mr. Stoffel during the interviews.
Kevin Stoffel would get the constable job. In the same deposition, Court Judge Dan Gaddis admitted Stoffel had shared his personal world views in an earlier interview for another county job. Federal law prohibits employers, public or private, from using religious views in the hiring process. It's treated the same as race, gender, or age. The Texas Bill of Rights is also clear. No religious test should be required as a qualification to any office. Last spring, only Commissioner Valerie Covey would talk to KXAN on camera, explaining the commissioner's reasoning.
This is a process that's different than a normal employment interview because it is an elected position.
While Covey asked no questions of Lloyd directly, her personal notes of the interview show Lloyd's views on abortion and gay rights were not definitive. At the deposition hearing in August, she clarified that note.
He had a hard time deciding what he was about and what he wanted to say in his conversation with us.
To date, Robert Lloyd, who now works for the Burnett County Sheriff, did know what he wanted to say.
I never thought that I would have to hate a gay person to get an appointment to a job. I never thought that would be an issue, and that's what this whole thing turned out to be.
Now, commissioners would not comment on today's new video release, and since Robert Lloyd filed his lawsuit last summer, 2 other former candidates joined the action. His attorneys say trial is expected to begin in federal court in January. Robert, Shannon.
Robert, we know that questions like this typically violate federal employment laws, so where does this case stand in those kinds of channels?
Well, there was a claim made at the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. We learned today through a county official that claim that Robert Lloyd made was denied. Robert, Shannon.
Okay, Robert, thanks for your reporting. Appreciate it.
And tonight, all new at 10 o'clock, another applicant for a county job describes what she was asked in a job interview at the Williamson County Clerk's office. Plus, we hear the county judge's response.
If the name Kevin Stoffel sounds familiar, that's because he's running to keep his office. Back in February, KXAN News revealed some of Stoffel's history and what commissioners knew during their interview. We learned today that at least one commissioner did receive public information about Stoffel's background, including how he helped a friend who crashed a truck after leaving a party. Valerie Covey admitted in the same deposition we just showed you she received the DPS report beforehand. In February, Judge Dan Gaddis told us he did not recall seeing those documents. We've linked that report to tonight's story in the Investigate section of KXAN.com.